Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Beautiful morning here in Melbourne. Hope it is where you are too, Joe and Jane, who are not not that close to Melbourne. Welcome, everyone. If you have a bolster, that would be fantastic if you want to pop that next to your mat. If you don't have a bolster, you might like to get a couple of cushions or pillows. Of course, that's optional. Don't worry if you don't want to have any props. And also, we're going to use a chair this morning for a couple of props. That's optional. So if you'd like to pop a chair next to your or near your mat, that would be wonderful. And I thought we might actually start in a seated position this morning. So you can sit on your mat, on a bolster, on the chair. If you're really low in energy, of course, you might like to lie down. But otherwise, let's stay seated this morning. Nice, tall, upright spine, whilst at the same time respecting the natural curves of our spine. Softening the shoulders, softening the skin of the face. And when you feel ready, just lightly closing the eyes or having a soft downward glance. Perhaps turning the sides of the mouth up slightly. So just taking these first few moments to allow everything to settle, body, breath, mind, heart. Feeling that you have arrived, that you are present in this moment. And then I invite you to imagine that there is a candle directly in front of your closed eyes. So let's inhale gently through the nose and exhale softly through the mouth so as not to disturb the candle flame. Soft, gentle breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, not wanting the candle flame to be distinguished. Breathing in through the nose and softly out through the mouth. Allowing everything to settle and to become a little quieter inside. Perhaps imagining now that you are sitting in the center of a dark cave in a remote part of the world. Very quiet, very still, very peaceful, no external distractions. Perhaps you can feel the soft glow of the candle flame projected onto your face. Feel your face warm, soft, relaxed. Your forehead spacious. Your mouth free of tension and strain. Cheeks smooth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling softly, smoothly through the mouth. And in this peaceful space, I invite you to connect with the wisdom deep inside your being. Perhaps wisdom connected to your ancestors or your spiritual lineage, if you are connected to one. Very old, ancient wisdom. Feel this wisdom rise up into your being, filling your being. And then imagine opening your eyes and gazing outward through wise eyes. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you sense? What does this wise energy want you to know? Knowledge that infinite wisdom is available to you at all times, deep inside. We just need to remember and reconnect with this source. As we commence our practice together this morning, you might like to ask yourself the question, what, if anything, needs to shift in my life so that I can invite this wise knowing, wise seeing into my life more? So that I'm facing the world, facing challenges and difficulties, facing myself with wise eyes and a wise heart. So now very gently just start to deepen the breath. We've left the cave. We're back in our own physical spaces, in our physical bodies. You might like to wriggle fingers and toes. Have a bit of a stretch if you need to. So we all have a wise healer within, our own inner healer, whatever you like to however you like to phrase that. So we're going to begin with a beautiful practice. I think most of you are familiar with this. It's called the 5-step self-holding practice. It's a very self-soothing practice, and it's a reminder that we can heal ourselves with our own touch, connecting with that inner healer. It's a wonderful practice if you're particularly feeling very anxious or discombobulated. For moments when you're feeling quite sad, it's a really good one to remember, and it can be done pretty much anywhere. It's one that I have used quite a lot over the last few years. So we're going to be placing our hands on different parts of the body, 5 different positions, and we'll have 3 breaths in each position. So if you'd like to bring the hands up, bring the palms together and just rub the hands until they feel nice and warm. And then we're going to just begin by placing the hands on either side of the head. So over your ears, cupping the ears, the side of the head. You can do this with the eyes open or closed, whatever feels most appropriate for you. 3 breaths in this position. So a soft, loving, tender touch. Offering yourself healing, care, love, comfort. And then the second position is one hand over the forehead, the other hand on the back of the head. 3 breaths here. And then we drop the hand that's on the back of the head to our heart center. 3 breaths. And then the hand that's over the forehead drops to our belly. 3 breaths here. And finally, the hand that's over the heart moves back to the back of the head. 3 final breaths. Gently. You might like to take a deep breath in. Sigh the breath away. All right, I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. And we're going to move into wheeling the body. So for this, you are welcome to sit on some support, sit on the bolster or a cushion. You can have the legs crossed, or if it's better for you, you might have the legs in a diamond shape. The hands are onto our knees. And we're just going to slowly start to circle the upper body. As much as possible this morning, I'm going to invite you to keep your gaze, your drishti, directed at the space between your 2 eyebrows, so your 3rd eye. Allowing the breath to flow in and out through the nostrils. Now, if your legs are crossed, change the cross of the legs, and we'll start to circle in the opposite direction. So just allowing or inviting the wise part of you to be in charge this morning of what you're doing, Any modifications you might need to make with the poses, rather than the ego being in control of our practice, inviting the wisest part of our being. And gently come back to center. We're going to work now with our seated bird. So again, you can keep the legs in a diamond shape or have your hands onto your knees. As we exhale, we round the back, we look down. And as we breathe in, gazing towards your third eye, shoulders back, chest forward, keep the face soft. So exhale, we round. Inhale, chest forward, mouth relaxed. Exhale, we round. Inhale. Continue working in this way, or we can bring the fingertips onto the tips of our shoulders. Exhale, elbows touch. Inhale, take the arms back, opening the chest. Exhale, we round. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. And then if you'd like to, taking the arms wide and palms touch. Breathing in, imagining you're a beautiful bird, perhaps your favorite bird flying through the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one, when your palms touch, pause there, interlace your fingers, turn the palms away, and raise the arms up. Deep breath in, and then we're going to twist to the left. You might wrap the arm around the back or just rest the hand on the bolster or on the floor behind you. Turn to look over the left shoulder. So keeping the spine as upright as possible, trying not to lean back into that left hand. Good, and then inhale, arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, twisting to the right. And back to center. So just going to do a few little eye strengthening movements. You might like to do this with the glasses off if you wear them. Eyes closed, imagining there's a clock in front of your closed eyes and looking up to number 12 on the clock and then down to 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 11, 8, 6, 2, 9, 3, 12, 6, 12, 9, 10, 1, 11, 4, 6, 12, 6, 12, center. Take a deep breath in and sigh the breath away. Just screw the eyes up as tightly as you can. And then open the eyes and blink as quickly as you can 10 times. And then screw the eyes up and blink 10 times as quickly as you can. Screw the eyes up and blink. Good. And then look as far into the distance as you can. Find a spot on the wall or the window, and then gaze to the tip of your nose. Try to keep the head really still, shoulders relaxed, gazing into the distance as far as you can, back to the nose tip, distance, nose tip, distance, nose tip, and release. Bring the palms together again, rub them until they're nice and warm. And then let's cover our eyes and breathe. Gazing to the center of the forehead. Sometimes referred to as our psychic eye, turned inward rather than outward, our third eye. And then just release the fingers down, give them a shake. Take a deep breath in. And let's lower the right ear to the right shoulder. Now, as we do this, you might like to take the left hand and press the palm down towards the floor. And just breathe into the left side of the neck. Good. And then slowly bring the head back to center. And take the left ear to the left shoulder. Same thing, right palm pressing down towards the floor. Back to center, and then just take the head back and drop it forward. Back and forward. Back and forward and center. Good. Let's come into extended child pose. So clearing everything off your mat. Any knee concerns, you might like to put a folded blanket under your knees. Extending the arms forward, your big toes touching. So we're going to weave in the mantra Om this morning, Om being connected to infinite wisdom. So if you'd like to join with me as we, in a moment, we'll come into cat and then we'll come back into child with the chant of Om. And we're going to rest for a breath in between the rounds. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in. So coming up onto all fours. And chanting back. Om. Now rest here for a breath. Breathing in, gazing to the center of your forehead. Chanting back. Om. Keeping your gaze at your forehead, one breath here. Let's do 3 more. That's one. We're going to add down face dog pose. Inhale up into cat. This time tuck your toes into dog. Inhale down onto your knees and we'll chant back into child. Om. Rest for a breath. Rest for a breath. And then inhale, come up into cat, tuck your toes down, face dog pose. We're going to hold dog. Feel free to bend one leg and then the other. The legs are feeling quite stiff this morning. If you'd like to, we'll add a lateral stretch here. So we'll take the feet a little bit wider and just swivel your feet to the left. Feeling hopefully a bit of an extra stretch down that left side of the torso, breathing into that space. Our gaze, our drishti is still at the space between the two eyebrows. And then swivel the feet the opposite way. Breathe. Come back to center. Inhale, slowly come down onto the knees. And exhale into your favorite version of child. You might make fists with the hands and rest your forehead on your fists. Perhaps chanting Om to yourself silently. Perhaps imagining there's a little hole in the center of your forehead and any worries, any concerns, any stress or tension is draining out through that small hole into the earth beneath you, just letting go. All right, let's work with elephant now. So hands and feet wider apart, same as dog, but a little bit wider stance. Coming up when you're ready and holding. So your drishti once again is at the center of your forehead. Allowing the breath to flow in and out. So allowing the wise part of you to determine when it's time to come down, when you've had enough. And then you'll lower the knees and take a rest. When you're ready, slowly coming up to kneel, either in this position or if it's better for you, a high kneel. We're going to go through a few rounds of a kneeling salute, but just the first part, not the full sequence. And on the last exhalation, again, we'll come back to the chant of Om. So we'll do 5 of these. So again, nice, tall, straight spine, shoulders relaxed. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down, face dog pose. Back into cat and child. So from here, just raising the arms up, and now we chant, palms together. Om. 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 Always take a little rest in between the rounds if that's a wise decision for you this morning. So we're going to slowly come up to stand now. So just take your time. Coming into Tadasana, mountain pose, spreading your toes, so feet are hip distance apart. Shoulders back, the heart, the chest is open. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. Little bend in the legs now. We're going to start off with some bouncing. I like to shake the arms. Again, have a sense of anything unwanted, anything that's not serving your highest good, your highest self. Imagine this stuff draining out through the body into the earth beneath you. Perhaps blowing the breath out through the mouth. You might like to sway. Good. And then just slow this movement down. Coming back into Tadasana, bringing the hands into Namaskar Mudra. Eyes open or closed, but again, we're gazing towards the center of the forehead. Just allowing the breath to flow smoothly in and out through both nostrils. And in this position, you might like to chant Om to yourself 3 times. If you know the Om symbol, you might even visualize that symbol in your third eye. Send the vibration of Om up to that symbol, filling your forehead. Just release the hands down, blink the eyes open if they're closed. Inhale, raise your arms to shoulder height. And exhale, bring the arms in front. Inhale, arms stretch above the head. And exhale, they float down. Linking this movement with your breath. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. 3 more. Last one. Just the resting breath. Now inhale, raise the arms to shoulder height. But this time as we exhale, we're just going to turn the palms over. So soft, empty palms. Inhale, raise the arms up, bring the palms to touch. We'll chant the hands down. You might be continuing to see that symbol filling your forehead, sending the vibration of the sound up to fill that space. Inhale. Turn the palms over. As you exhale, relax your shoulders. Breathe in. Awareness to your third eye. 3 more. We're going to interlace the fingers again. And this time just circle the hands around, so working into our wrists. Good, and shake it out. Inhale. Let's take the arms up again. This time we're going to hold the right wrist with the left hand, and we're going to lean over to the left side. Breathe yourself back to center, change the grip, and over to the right. Inhale. And release the arms down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Hold the right wrist and over to the left. Back to center. Inhale. Last one. And release. I like to make a few slow circles with your shoulders. Good, and reverse. We're going to grab a chair now. If you don't have a chair, you could do this with a wall. If you don't want to use any props, that's fine. You can just do this on your mat. But just thought we'd do something a little bit different today. So just grab your chair. You can pop it at the end of your mat. And we're going to come into half Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana, sometimes called box pose. So we're going to ideally create the shape of a box with our body. So the feet are hip width apart, a little bit pigeon-toed, hands are shoulder width apart, and then we're coming down. So we're aiming to have the spine parallel to the floor. And breathe. Keeping our ears between our arms, so we're not dropping the head down. Make sure your toes are relaxed. Trying to broaden the upper back, not sort of let there be a big dip in the upper back. So sometimes we need to sort of roll, imagine you're rolling your armpits towards each other. It's actually this position is actually something I do pretty much every day, and often not when I'm on my mat, but when I'm out walking, I might find a fence or sometimes if I walk past a playground, I'll just go in and find something I can actually come into this position. Pretty much every single day I'll work with this. Beautiful stretch for the whole back of the body, your back, the backs of the legs. Good, and then when you've had enough, just inhale, come up, bring the palms together and exhale. All right, so if you want to, if you know you can comfortably come down here into Uttanasana with the legs bent or straight, and you don't want to use the chair for this next sequence, then you can just move the chair out of the way. But otherwise, we're going to keep the chair there and work with a little flowing sequence. So I'll show you the way with the chair, and I'll talk you through if you're going a bit further, which is one that we do quite a bit in these sessions, so you will know it. So we're standing in Tadasana and we'll inhale, raise the arms up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come forward. So you'll either take your hands to the chair or keep going down, legs bent or straight. Now, if you've gone all the way down, inhale, just lift up halfway, fingertips onto the mat or onto your shins, and then exhale, lower down into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Then from here, we're all going to inhale and stand up. Palms together and exhale. So let's try 4 more of these. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. So hands to the tips of the chair or coming all the way down. If you're down to the mat, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, we're coming all the way up, palms together. And exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out, come forward. Perhaps lifting up halfway and lower. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand, palms together, and exhale. 2 more. Perhaps lifting up halfway, and then exhale, lowering down. Inhale, all coming up. And exhale. Last one. Without my voice. Just give the legs a good shake. All right, so another one that we don't do that often. It is quite a challenging pose. I find this one quite challenging. You may not. And it's a lovely one to do with a chair or with a wall. So you can choose whether you want to use the chair or not this morning. It's Parsvottanasana, so we can be back a little bit and step the right leg forward. So it's not too wide a stance, and we want the hips to be square facing forward. So you just need to play around with if you're using a chair, how far away you are. You might need to push it away a little bit. And then we're coming down. So it's like box pose, but the legs are in a different position. And one of the tricky things is to try to keep our hips square here. You can even, if you like, take a hand back and just feel your sacrum. See if it feels flat, if the hips feel square. So if you're not using a chair, you might have the hands on the hips and then slowly come down. You can bend the front leg if that feels better. Fingertips might be to the floor. Sometimes we can have 2 blocks, fingertips on the blocks. And eventually we're lowering ourselves down, aiming to bring our forehead close to that right shin. Breathe. But this morning, we're really focusing on just lengthening your spine forward. If you haven't done it with a chair, you might like to just try that, see what it feels like this morning. Again, think about what would your wise self have you do here, not the ego. What would your inner healer have you do here? Good. And then when you've had enough, just bend that right leg and come up carefully. Take the right leg back and we'll try the other side. So hands might be on the hips. As you exhale, come forward. You might take your fingers down to the mat. You might bend the left leg, hands might be on the chair. And then we're focusing on squaring the hips. Perhaps take a hand back and feel your sacrum. And breathe. When you've had enough, very safely and carefully come up and shake it out. All right, so we're at the backs of our mats. We're going to step forward with the right leg, a little bit wider stance this time for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. And there'll be the option of moving into Warrior 3, which is our balance. And we've got the chair there. So if we like, we can use that for some extra support or not. We might just stay in Warrior 1. So arms are by our sides, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, all breath out, hips are square. And then inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, bend the right leg. Palms are shoulder width apart, or you might be pressing the palms together and crossing your thumbs. And breathing. And then we might stay here, or some of you might like to lift that back leg up. You might need to push the chair further away and raise that left leg up behind us. So we're into a variation of Virabhadrasana 3. We're flexing the left foot, trying to keep those hips square, ears between our arms. And then slowly lower the left leg back and release, shake it out. We'll try the other side. So left leg forward, hips are square, breathing in, breathing out, bend the left leg. So palms shoulder width or pressing together, opposite thumb on top if you're doing so. And breathe. And then if you'd like to, we come forward, we lift that right leg up. We may use the chair for some support. Right leg parallel to the floor, flexing the right foot. Ears between our arms. Bend the left leg carefully, lower that right leg. And release. All right, one more standing pose. We might have the chair for a little bit of support. It's a balance. So I'm going to have the weight in my left foot, and I'm going to pick up the right and give this knee a hug. So if you don't need any support, you're just hugging the knee, trying to keep the shoulders back. Soft. Either keep hugging the knee, or if you can, reach down to make a loop around your big toe. And then we're going to see if we can start to straighten this leg. So you may have a hand on the chair. If not, the hand is on your hip. Weight into the right foot, And we're picking up the left. So hugging a knee, keep the shoulders back, the chest open, either staying here or reaching down for your big toe. The other hand may go onto your hip or on the chair, and if possible, we're working to straighten the leg. Release. Take a breath. Let's move that chair out of the way. Grab a bolster or some cushions or pillow, and I'd like to give you the choice of either working with supported bridge or fish. So if you're going to do supported bridge, then the bolster's under your buttocks and you're lying yourself down. So something like this. And if you've got glasses, you might like to pop those to one side. Or fish, where I think you all know that position, the bolster is under your upper back and your arms are down alongside you or overhead. Just be careful of your neck. If you're going into fish, you might give yourself a little bit of support under the back of the head. Awareness to the center of the forehead. So you just allow everything now to slow down. Perhaps sighing the breath away once or twice. I'm going to stay here for 4 or 5 minutes, but please feel free to come out early if it doesn't feel right. And you can just rock a little bit from side to side. I'd like to share with you a beautiful passage from a book called Midlife Spirituality and Jungian Archetypes. Wisdom puts one in contact with the underground stream in oneself that connects and relates one to all humanity and to the ages past, present, and yet to come. Wisdom is at the heart of all healing, forgiveness, conversion, good relationships, right order, holistic styles of life, praying and playing. Wisdom allows one to deal with ambiguity and live with paradox. Wisdom brings the child out of the adult and the adult out of the child. Wisdom tutors one in a reality that includes possibilities. To be in touch with the self is wisdom. When the archetype of wisdom emerges, the self emerges. When the self emerges, the archetype of wisdom emerges. Each incorporates the other. Wisdom calls one to both inner and outer experience. Wisdom moves one towards wholeness. Wisdom calls one to a profound harmony between the world within and without. Keeping your gaze, your drishti, at your third eye, the space between your two eyebrows, perhaps visualizing the symbol of Om. In fact, I'd like to share with you a passage, just a short sentence from an ancient text, the Upanishads, about the significance of Om. Om, this eternal word, is all. What was, what is, and what shall be. Om, this eternal word, is all. What was, what is, and what shall be. Chanting 3 silent Oms to yourself now. Two or three breaths. We're going to come out of the pose. Just gently roll to one side and push any supports out from underneath you so that you can lie down on your mat with your knees into your chest and just rock gently from side to side. See if you can rock right over to your elbow and then use the elbow to help push you back to center and to the other side. Come back to center. We'll just work with a final twist before we come into Shavasana. If you want a stronger twist, you know your lower back's okay with that. Feet can be in the air, otherwise have your feet down on the mat, arms at shoulder height. Check that your head, neck and spine are in a straight line, and then a deep breath in. Chanting to the right. Just pause there, your head may be turned to the left. Take 2 or 3 breaths, just relax your shoulders. And breathe yourself back to center and we'll chant to the left. Head may be to the right. 2 or 3 breaths. Back to center. And then we'll prepare ourselves for relaxation. You might like to pop some support under your knees or just lie flat, cover yourselves if you're feeling a little bit cool. Glasses off. Settling down. Getting comfortable. allowing the body to drop down, down. When we relax and are silent and still, we're able to get in touch with that part of us that is wise and all-knowing. So try to allow any persistent, racy thoughts in your mind to drift away. Nothing to think about, nothing to do. Giving up all effort. Just continuing to listen to the sound of my voice as you relax. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to fear. Now in this safe, relaxed space, I invite you to imagine that you're standing in front of a cave. You sense something wonderful, magical inside the cave. And so you decide to explore a little deeper. Hear the sound of your footsteps echoing as you walk deeper and deeper into the cave. Noticing a light in the distance. You continue walking one step at a time, moving closer towards the light. Eventually you come to the very center of the cave where the light shines bright. And you see before you a stone altar, a white candle, and a wise person sitting. Long flowing hair and white robes. This wise person represents your wise self, your higher self, your inner healer. See this person welcoming you, beckoning you to come closer, calling you by name. A sparkle in their eye, a softness in their voice, soft creases in their skin, a knowingness in their demeanor. You walk slowly towards this person and make eye contact. Allow this person to look deeply into you. This person knows all about you. This person knows what you need to be peaceful, content. This person knows what you need to be healthy. This person knows how you can begin to let go a little more. See this person smiling at you, drawing you into a feeling of warmth, safety. Imagine this wise being now speaking to you. Perhaps they remind you to let the small things go. Perhaps they remind you to let the big things go. Perhaps they are assuring you that even in the hard moments, it will all be okay. As you spend time with this infinitely wise being, imagine care pouring forth through the conversation in both directions. Care and comfort and love. It's time to leave this wise being and the cave, knowing that you can return here at any time just by closing your eyes and visualizing yourself back in the cave. But now walking back out the way you came, and then finding yourself back in your room and in your physical body, aware of sounds around you as you deepen the breath and wriggle your fingers and toes. You might like to have a bit of a stretch, do what feels good, and then roll to one side and just curl up into a little ball, hug your knees in. To close, I'd like to share with you a beautiful passage from the medicine woman Maria Sabina. Cure yourself with the light of the sun and the rays of the moon, with the sound of the river and the waterfall, with the swaying of the sea and the fluttering of birds. Heal yourself with the mint and mint leaves, with neem and eucalyptus. Sweeten yourself with lavender, rosemary, and chamomile. Hug yourself with the cocoa bean and a touch of cinnamon. Put love in tea instead of sugar and take it looking at the stars. Heal yourself with the kisses that the wind gives you and the hugs of the rain. Get strong with bare feet on the ground and with everything that is born from it. Get smarter every day by listening to your intuition, looking at the world with the eye of your forehead. Jump dance, sing, so that you live happier. Heal yourself with beautiful love. And always remember, you are the medicine. Let's now come up to sit. And we'll close our practice this morning with one Om. Might like to again direct your gaze to your third eye, perhaps the symbol of Om resting there and sending the vibrations of Om to that space. Let's bring the hands together at the heart space. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Stay. Thank you. Much love to you all. Enjoy this beautiful day and see you again soon, hopefully.